this is a case that has gotten a lot of national media attention in addition to the local media attention, and that was the focus of jury selection this morning as it got underway. Let's continue our team coverage with Christina Mora with more on the proceedings this morning in court. Christina?
Hey there, Roxanne. Well, everything started. The official jury selection process began around 10 this morning. That was just a couple of hours after our cameras captured Goodman and his defense team heading into court for the morning. Now, Judge Colbath began with a pool of 60 potential jurors today. That number is already getting whittled down. The judge went through a very tedious, meticulous explanation of jury expectations, spending an extensive amount of time on media coverage, separating those who have seen, heard, read about this case. Those who have had little to no exposure to the case were sent out and asked to come back at 2:30. The judge then worked with another group, diving into how much they've heard or if they've created opinions about Goodman or if they've already judged this case.
Can you set aside those experiences that you might have been exposed to? Or have you been exposed to the media enough to where you have a point of view that would be difficult to set aside?
Now, there have already been a number of potential jurors who have been already allowed to leave for various reasons. Before all this, though, there were a number of pretrial motions that were discussed, and we're going to hear more about that from Roxanne. Back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you very much. I'm joined now by News Channel 5 legal analyst and local criminal defense attorney Michelle Suskauer, who you've seen a lot of these jury selections. How is this one going today in comparison to other big criminal cases?
Well, it's slow going because of the intense media coverage. The judge started out with 60 jurors, and it's being whittled down slowly. Some people have been excused because they're really not the right jurors for this particular case.
You have many different comments made. One person, a member of MAD, another person, family members in the sheriff's office.
That's right. And so there are people who really, this is not the right case for them. Anyone who's prejudged John Goodman should not be a juror on this case or have really individual experiences in their life that maybe they were involved in a DUI, maybe a family member or someone they know was previously killed. So this is, again, not the right case for them. So the judge has excused certain people, but we're going to see a lot more excuses down the road today.
But he has held quite a few to come back for other interviews and other questioning. Do you think he'll seat a jury today?
You know what? I mean, in a way, I do think that maybe there is a jury that's going to be seated today. You know, Roxanne, when we were watching it, I was really surprised that there were a large number of people who actually haven't heard about this case or just really have not been influenced at all.
Well, I know you sort of held court in the media room because a lot of us said, oh, really, when there were that many people? And you said, no, it really does happen.
Well, because we're so caught up and we're following it at every step of the way, but there are people who just don't follow it. They don't have an interest in it. They're not involved in it. And so those folks were excused to come back at 2:30 so that they weren't going to be colored by what someone else who's heard a lot about it will say.
Let's talk about the charges against John Goodman right now. Two main criminal charges against him.
Right. DUI manslaughter, failing to render aid, and that's punishable by up to 30 years in prison, and vehicular homicide, failure to render aid, also punishable by up to 30 years in prison, but the total is 30 years that he's facing.
He would serve them concurrently if he is convicted of both charges. However, he could be convicted of lesser charges.
That's right, or he could be acquitted, found not guilty, and walk out of the courtroom.
And the question continues to come up, could they at some point, even today, say, let's make a deal?
Absolutely. They could say, let's make a deal until that jury comes back with the verdict. So there are deals that can be made in the middle of trial and before verdict comes back.
How have you, watching Judge Colbath, his demeanor today, how do you feel he's handling the case thus far?
Well, you know, this is a very complicated case, but he's handling it in a very folksy way. I think he's really trying to make this jury feel comfortable. It's the first time some folks have ever been inside of a courtroom. It's intimidating, and I think what the judges try to do is make people feel comfortable so that they feel free to say really what's on their mind and to try to reveal any biases that they may have.
And he did do a little courtroom business. He said no court this Friday, no court this Monday.
That's right, and that the case will probably be 7 to 8 trial days, so this is not including jury selection.
All right, Michelle, I know you'll be with us every single day as we continue continue to be here live every single day of jury selection and as trial gets underway for John Goodman. That's it here from the Palm Beach County Courthouse. We're back at 12:30 with more. We'll have another update for you. They are in recess right now. We'll see you in just a little while. Reporting live from West Palm Beach, Roxanne Stein, News Channel 5.